So we're now going to simplify each expression using common denominator. So we're still going to use a similar process to when we were to when we were unrolling. The main thing is what we want to do is we want to get a common factor. So the question is, how do we do that? So if you have a look at this, we've got 1 over 8 factorial, and then we want to do 1 minus 10 factorial. So we're I shouldn't say obviously, but we are going to change it so they've both got the 10 factorial as the denominator. So what we're going to have a look at is 1 over 8 factorial. Now this, just before you start writing down exactly what I'm writing down, I am just doing some thoughts here and going, okay, 1 over 8 factorial. How else can I write that? Well, 1 over 8 factorial could be written as 9 factorial, as 9 over, 9 times 8 factorial. Okay, does that make sense? Because the 9's cancel out and you'd be left with 1 over. Okay, which means it could also be written as, and I'll actually do that, 9 times 8 factorial. It could also be written as 10 times 9 over 10 times 9 times 8 factorial. Okay, because that 10 over 9 on the numerator and the denominator would both be able to cancel out and you'd be left with 1 over 8 factorial. I hope that makes sense. Now, what I really want you to focus on is the fact that 10 times 9 times 8 factorial can actually be written as 10 factorial. So that is just another way. It's rolling it back a little bit. So it's similar to what we did in the previous one, though we were doing that on the numerator. We were unrolling it. Here, we've done it on the denominator. So you can see that 1 over 8 factorial can actually be written as, and I'll get rid of all that, 10 times 9 over 10 factorial. So those are the same thing. So what we'll do is instead of 1 over 8, we will actually go, well, it's 10 times 9 over 10 factorial minus 1 over 10 factorial. And that's a much nicer thing. So we've now got 90 minus 1 over 10 factorial, which would give us 89 over 10 factorial. So hopefully that made sense. What we're doing is we're rearranging that, and I'll just write it over here, 1 over 8 factorial equals 10 times 9 over 10 times 9 times 8 factorial. And it's all because the 10 over 9 can be reduced to 1 over 1 if we need to. Hope that makes sense. We're now going to do it with this other one over here, which is 1 over n factorial. So I'm going to write it over this side this time. 1 over n factorial can still be written as n plus 1 over n plus 1 times n factorial. So I'll just put that in brackets, and because you can see that n plus 1 over, struggling with the whole language thing. N plus 1 over n plus 1 would simplify down to 1 over 1, so we've got that. Well, I can now write that as n plus 1 over n plus 1 factorial, because n plus 1 times n factorial is n plus 1 factorial. It's the same as we just did over here. 9 times 8 factorial is 9 factorial. So it's just the rollback, or the unrolling of. So that means that 1 over n we can actually write as n plus 1 over n plus 1 factorial plus 1 over n plus 1 factorial, which means we've got n plus 2 over n plus 1 factorial. And that's all there is to it. You're just using the unrolling, but this time we're using it on the denominator to give ourselves a common denominator. And that's pretty cool.